Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Monkey and Kiwi Reviews. Today we're doing Cyberpunk EdgeRunners, and we just finished the episode. So, Kiwi, would you like to start us off?
Oh boy. Okay, first of all, I'm very glad that I barricaded my door.
Oh, God, yes!
My mother would have killed me.
Oh.
And most importantly, okay, first of all, animations absolutely
Studio
beautiful.
Trigger is doing its greatest again.
Yeah,
Well done.
I really like the art style, and it did really I really like the pacing, even though maybe it seemed a bit fast, but I guess they wanted to get that first episode done. But what they did really do so well is really set you into the actual lore and setting of the cyberpunk universe, how things work. If you don't have money, you're fucked. And it's just it really rips you up in the first episode, but it really does so well to really make you understand how ruthless this world is and how it works, and it did it really well. Amazing. Very good.
Oh, yes, Cyberpunk as a genre is one of, I guess, not hopelessness, but moral and physical decay of society. And we're talking spiritual, economical. It's essentially in the middle of an apocalypse where humanity is going to be slowly dying off, but nobody really sees that in the immediate future. You just see the signs of decay, and I'm gonna be comparing it to the game Cyberpunk 2077 because it's basically a rip-off of the story there. But I'll be 100% honest, I think Studio Trigger can tell it much better. And already we have our protagonist. We have a good sense of who he is, which I'll be honest is much better than what we got in the game, because in the game it was like a mix between a bland character for you to design how you want it. You decide what they're like, and yeah, because in 2077 you basically had the option of picking life paths. You could have been a corpo, a street kid, or a nomad.
So is the game actually from the main character's perspective, from this anime?
The game has this anime is basically telling the same story as the game, and I know how the story goes. I've finished the game. I have not watched the anime.
Yeah.
But in the game, your main character, V. I'll be honest with you. He didn't fit in his own story purely because of another character. We've technically already been introduced, but not really. We'll get to her later, probably next episode when they show her. But V ended up feeling a lot like a side character in his own story.
I see.
Which honestly made me sad, because I wanted to like him. I did. And I did like a few characters, but their stories were really cut short. This one, it sets a good precedent here. In the beginning, we have our character, we have his struggles, we have his enemies, we have his aspirations. In the game, in the beginning, sort of have that. Just one small problem. You go through the life paths, and they're basically the start of the game, sort of like your tutorials, more like your introduction into the world. And then you have this montage of you doing things with your best buddy. I think his name was Jackie.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the CDPR decided to go for a montage with that, and that was kind of to their detriment, because honestly, I could have seen myself liking Jackie a lot more than I did, but because spoiler alert, he dies in the second mission.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it bothers me because the montage we're showed is essentially us Jackie taking us in, showing us the ropes, and we do some missions with him.
Yeah.
Build a rapport. And it just feels like we were deprived a bit of character development and attachments with Jackie.
Yeah.
Yes, and unfortunately, because I liked the character. I liked the voice actor. He was nice, well written. It's just he died right at the beginning of the game, and I honestly wanted him to be. I wanted the main part of the game to sort of begin like halfway. I'll be honest with you, because I wanted more time with Jackie. I wanted to build that rapport with him.
Yeah,
but we never did. In this game, in this show, it looks like granted, Studio Trigger's rushing it a bit, but yeah, it's like what 10 episodes or something. It's not 10 episodes. It's 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit more rushed, but it does.
Yeah.
They are good at showing you, getting you to sympathize with characters. They are very good.
Sure.
Like 100%. His mother. Obviously, we've all watched anime before. We know what happens to the mother, but still, it fucking hurts. Like,
yeah, for sure. That's what I was saying like earlier. Like, it is, you can feel it's rushed, but like I feel like they managed it really well. I don't know how to say it, but like the pacing at the end was
like
still
we have
good.
the mother...
It was enough for you to still feel really bad for the mom and really understand her point of view.
Yeah.
You can understand both points of views, and again,
like he's a bratty kid. He doesn't wanna be at the rich people's school because he just doesn't fit in, and objectively he doesn't.
Yeah,
that is known.
And it is quite sad that even the mom says that even she gets bullied at her workplace, which is quite sad as well.
Oh yeah, because
they treat her differently because she's from like the
because she's a street kid. She's not a corpo, and granted, it's not impossible for people to move from place to place, class to class. Like, it's not impossible for a nomad or a street kid to become a corpo, or for a corpo to become a nomad or street kid, or any of the other combinations.
Yeah.
It's just, again, like, it's very much a caste system in this society. Like, you got the corpos who follow their own rules, you got the street kids, which are one below them, and you got the nomads, which are one below the street kids.
Yeah.
And I feel for this mother, because, again, Studio Trigger, it knows how to pull your heartstrings with the mother. It's like, she's a single mother in this hellhole of a city that's like set... was it? Not Chicago. Los Angeles. No, not Los Angeles. One of the Californian cities that is just full of fucking homeless drug addicts.
I'm pretty sure it is California.
Yeah, the state California, but one of the cities, maybe Seattle.
No,
I don't know. One of the cities,
knows?
but yeah, she's trying to raise her son alone in a city full of like drug addicts.
Yeah.
And she's working late, working nights as like part of the medical crew, so she can scrape together enough money to put her son through college.
Yeah.
And I feel for her. I do, because it's an admirable goal. Like, I like this character.
Yeah.
Again, it also paints her son as an asshole too, but you understand why. He's a kid. He's getting bullied all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, this is how you write a brat, but make them like likable, unlike certain characters, which I will not
for sure,
name.
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's the thing, because like you feel a bit mad at him, like, come on kid, like, you look at what your mom's going through, but you also don't completely see him as like a brat. Like, he's a likable brat because he does see his mom's struggles, but that's why he suggests to his mom, like, can I just work or something, because I don't like it. And then, when he sees his mom cry, he's like, no, okay, I'm sorry, mom, like, don't cry.
He knows he's fucked up.
He does care about his mom, and that's why he's a likable brat. Because he does sympathize.
He's
and
not
he
completely self-centered.
Yeah, he does see that his choice is upsetting his mom, because of course she works a lot for him to be in such a position at a prestigious school. So yeah, again, really well done. You really feel bad for the mom, you really feel bad for him as well. And then it just gets worse.
Oh yeah, it gets far, far worse. Like, I'm just skimming through the episode right now. And I honestly, I do love how well they're showing the setting here. Like, you got homeless people that are tweaking out on drugs, on like literal just being jacked off by cones on their crotches.
Mhm.
And this is just normal life for this kid. And this was something that wasn't really shown in the game because they pulled a lot of punches, like a lot of punches in 2077 that they just did not in this, and I love them for it because in 2077 you had adverts, basically like ladies with their tits out,
Yeah.
and kids were presumably just walking the streets like everyone else, and just knowing this. In a meta sense, knowing it, I knew that this was fucked up, but it just wasn't shown in the game, like, at all. And I wanted to see some kids just playing, I don't know, fucking football, while a billboard selling Viagra was, like, lighting up the pitch. And that's the kind of shit I wanted to see in 2077, because it would show how fucked the world is. Like, this is okay, like, not even showing kids like porn, but advertising it above them. Just they know it's there. Everyone knows it's there. Just nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, this show has done really well in that because he, like you said, he walks past people doing that, but also like he's on the train and then he sees like an explosion happening at a building and the trauma team are going there and he's just like whatever. Then he goes past the crime murder scene and he just smiles and he keeps walking.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like that's what I mean. It's just really well told. Like you look at his smug smile.
Like this just happens. Like
it's just very
just
normalized. That's what I mean, like it's really well done in telling the audience, the viewer, what is normal and not normal here in this universe, what is okay, and like the boundaries, like these are the lines.
Yeah. And that's what you want in really a piece of media, like to draw you in, to immerse you in its world, 100%. Regardless of how fucked that world is.
Yeah.
It's God, it's why I did like 2077 in its environmental storytelling. But again, that's like a passive way of telling a story, because literally everything was just depraved, debauched, just degenerated. Like you had adverts for brain dances, and it's this universe's version of VR. For context, you feel everything. It's like a memory that you could experience again and again, as if it's happening right now. And obviously, being a teenager, of course, the kid has a porno. Pretty good one, I'll give you that. Like, that's the type of shit I'd pay for. But like it introduces the concept of a brain dance very well, with him like just watching effectively some snuff video, like some live leak shit. Like again, like live leak, for those that don't know, was essentially, imagine a horror movie, but it's real life. Did that guy actually die? Yeah, he's dead. That's essentially what our little kid was watching in the beginning of the damn show. It's like, oh wow. So this is what it feels like to be this powerful with all this military tech and get gunned down by a bunch of max tech guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man, it's fucking rush. And again, like the concept of a brain dance is really nice, and it was done really well in the setting, just to show the commodification of everything. It's like, never mind the commodification of sex. We have that in the modern day with OnlyFans. The commodification of memories, of experiences, like selling it to people, like packaging your best moments and putting it on a shelf for $9.99.
Yeah.
That was fucking depressing when I thought about it. Like, because in 2077 there was this one quest that was I swear to fucking God, it was kind of funny because CDPR wouldn't let you take photos of it. The game had a photo mode, but in some places it wouldn't let you take photos. In this quest, they wouldn't let you take photos.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. So, there's this convict that you get introduced to, and he's part of a film crew. And he's like reformed. He has seen the light. He is a born-again Christian.
Okay.
And what do you think the camera crew with him is trying to record? I'll let you guess, Kiwi. He's a criminal. He's a born again Christian. He's right out of prison. He's trying to make amends with everybody.
They trying to record. See, the thing is, I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like I'm too good of a brain for this world.
Oh,
because I'm
yeah.
about to tell you, oh, maybe they're recording him like having good moments in life, and I was like, this is cyberpunk. It's gonna be horrible. I'm never gonna be able to guess.
Well, they did. They recorded him like making up with his family and like severing ties with the gangs, and him like making the final step in his religious pilgrimage by how do I put this? He got Jesus.
Jesus.
As in, yeah, he got Jesus.
No. And
no. The final part of the quest is you if you go on, because you can stop at any time. You can say to the directors like, "Fuck you, this is sick," and leave. But I went through it all because I wanted to see how far it would go, and my God, it went far to the point where you are hammering the fucking nails into his hands.
No.
And I was like, "Dear God, this is so fucked up."
That is really messed up.
Oh yeah, and this was the part of the game where, for some reason, I couldn't take photos, and I was like, CDPR, fucking commit to the bit. Like, this shit is so fucked up, it belongs in the world of cyberpunk. Like, the whole idea of the quest was, and it gets worse than that, you're brought in by the directors to try to get this guy to believe that he is actually the reincarnation of Jesus Christ himself, so that they can record it as a brain dance and sell it off to people.
No.
Yeah, so you get to feel the enlightenment, the euphoria of him making amends with his family, of becoming a good person, and then becoming Jesus Christ on the cross. As a fucking product on a shelf.
Wow.
Like, that was a good quest for the setting. Like, dear God. Like, this is fucked up, and I love that because it showed just how depressing
like the world is
and
fucked up.
Like, is.
And it does well at showing that this world is just fucked up.
Yeah, and this show does it as well. Like, it's really nice. Like, again, because this guy's a teenager, like going through teenager things, and it does show the contrast of like, okay, he has to go past gangs that are blocking stairwells full of trash that you can't even like traverse anymore, to go pasting again drug addicts on the street, murder scenes, all to go to a school full of rich fucking corpo kids that never have to deal with any of that shit because they get to live in their ivory towers.
Oh, but yeah, for sure. And I think I love that moment where like, you know, he walks out his door and like there's homeless people there, but then like he steps out and like falls into like a trash bin thing, like one of those massive trash things. Yeah. And it's just so casual, like he's just so casual about it.
It just happens.
It's just so normal, you know?
It happens.
And like another little detail that I do like is like when they get into fights and stuff, it shows like their nerves and stuff.
It
like
shows the
like
actual cyberware
like,
doing its cyberware thing, which I will be honest, I think you could only really do it in 2D.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it well in 3D, you could, but in a video game, it's really hard to show. I think CDPR did a good job, sort of, but only if you actively use the software, because there was mods you can get that effectively slow down time for you and let you react faster. And it's bullet time. It's essentially bullet time. It is pretty fucking cool. But how do you show that in 2D? Well, you show it directly reacting with his nervous system. And again, it's the thing that fucking gets me. This kid that he's that's fighting him, He gave up his fucking arms for robo arms just casually. Like this teenager just lost his arms so he could get better cyberware. And that's just a thing that happens. Like, and that just fucking gets me. There's nothing sacred anymore. Like, God is not dead. God has already decomposed and turned to ash. Like, this world is fucked.
Yeah, and plus he actually did it to his eyes as well, because in the scene where they're in class and stuff, like, you know, our boy actually put on, like, glasses, whereas he didn't need to put on glasses, this rich kid. He just, like, his eyes just turned red. Like, he already has it in his, like, literal system.
Let me see if I can find the scene. It was... No, that's this scene, yeah. I believe our hero also has that done to him, because it's like one of those quote-unquote low-level upgrades that you can just get, and you don't need to replace your entire eyeball for that. You could just have like a contact lens or something, but it's much more convenient if you just replace your eyeball.
Yeah.
Again, me just saying that freaks me out. Like, what the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's just
so much
nuts,
whiplash,
honestly.
like going into this and then coming out. Like, wait a fucking minute.
And again, they just really do show how like life still like goes on.
Yeah,
and, like
this
after someone's died, like his mom dies. Yeah, his mom dies, and then you know it's really sad, of course, and he reminisces his mom. But it's just sad that she's just in a jar now, like that.
Oh god, the scene where she's just the fucking cemetery surface, just like a fucking vending machine. His mother just pops out like pop.
Yeah, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it really shows how fucked up this place is, this world is, and it's so well done.
Oh, I love her, and also just the final knife in the back was this kid just calling him late at night. This kid probably had other things to do, but he found time in his day to fucking twist the knife of this kid's mother's death. Even further, like, my god. And this does go to show like how different castes treat each other. The corpos think that the street kids are trash because, well, they kind of are, and the nomads don't belong in the city at all, so they're treated as outsiders by everybody. So while it is possible for you people to move between while there is social mobility, there's not that much. You have to really fucking try, and even then you'll still have your past haunting you, and most likely your kids. But yeah, Studio Trigger did a really good job of making you hate the fucking guts out of the corpo.
Yep.
And it makes sense. Like, they have a superiority complex because, well, in many ways they are superior. Like, they can get cyber upgrades that make them effectively demigods compared to everyone else. Like, they can get hacking where, like, okay, so in the beginning, in that little brain dance we see with our dude over here, and you got Max Tech trying to shut down his cyberware, because you don't want to fucking fight somebody if you don't have to, so just shut it down. But this universe's version of like firewalls is ice, and it varies depending on how effective it is, military grade being some of the best. And there's different tiers of that depending on how recent it is or what level you are. Level of access, I should say. But yeah. Max Stack tries to just shut it down so they don't have to bother fighting you and just pop you in the head. But with this guy, they succeeded a little, but still had to kill him. And also, like, his fucking bullets did nothing to them at all.
Literally
as powerful as this guy is, Max Stack is worse. Oh god, and I honest to god, like the surgeon. Sorry, just going out of left field. The fucking surgeon. I was because I know this world and I am suspicious. I thought the surgeon might have killed his mother on purpose to harvest her.
Honestly, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this place is fucked up. I wouldn't be surprised. Because also when he said he can't like visit her, I'm like, I'm suspicious.
Yeah.
And same with her ashes. I'm like, I'm suspicious.
If we find her cut open body,
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna fucking puke.
Yeah.
Because okay, in the game, one of the first missions you do with Jackie is you're going into not an organ harvesting clinic, but a cyberware harvesting clinic. Like, it's common for gangs to kidnap people and just rip their cyberware out of them.
Ouch.
Whether they live or die is inconsequential. You use some virus to knock them out. And that's the thing, I never mind roofing somebody. Just put a virus in a chip that they'll use and they'll be knocked out. That's how...
And that's a terrifying concept in itself.
Yeah. It's like, do you trust this chip? It's like, I don't know. Seems fine to me. But yeah, in that shop, it was, I believe, one of the E3 demos, so they put their best foot forward there. You got to see just bodies disassembled like they were a butcher's shop, and I was uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because I just see like a dead hooker with her titties out and her abdomen completely empty. I was like, what the?
Oh God,
I'm gonna puke. So yeah, naturally, I didn't feel bad about killing everybody there with extreme prejudice.
Yeah,
but I also had to remember, it's like, yeah, this is normal. They just do this. It happens.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just crazy. It's just.
Yeah.
But again, this show is really, really well done. Honestly, even though it's of course like they're aiming for the fucked upness, like that's the point of this universe. This is really a breath of fresh air from Rings of Power.
Oh, it really fucking is. You got good character writing here, and again, the fact that this world is so horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever read like some edgelord stuff before, that just cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Something like that. It just gets boring. Because it's just bad shit over and over and over again. And it just gets tedious after a certain point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The beauty of well-written cyberpunk is you have the horror, but you also have the wholesomeness as well in parts. Like his connection to his mother. Again, the car ride they had before his mother's death, where they're complaining about random shit, and you just see it's like, this is like a conversation many of us have had with our parents. Like, look, Ma, I just don't want to fucking do this, and I don't like that you're making me do this. But you don't know how to express that as a teenager, so you're just being a little shit about it.
Yeah.
And I feel for this mom. I do, because it's a very human situation for them to be in, and then just right out of fucking nowhere, again comes in to shoot not them, but the car next to them.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't mean anything to that gang at all. They were just in the way. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time to get shot up by a bunch of juiced up wackos.
Yeah, and that was enough.
Yeah, and it just shows, like, this world. Like, out of nowhere, you just see an LMG just locking and loading. It's like, what the hell do you do here? Like, pray. It's pretty much all you got. And I weep for this kid. Did you notice that he never cried?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, like, death... sex and violence is what sells, and sex and violence are in abundance in this world. Like, to the point where people dying is just normal. Like, again, he passed a crime scene on his way to school.
Yeah.
And,
like,
he's broken up about his mother dying.
Yeah.
It just doesn't register for him how bad it actually is, because he sees it all the time.
Yeah. Like he's so exposed to it. Like I think that's the thing. Like in such a world, you'd be so desensitized to it, and I think that's the thing. Whereas we're looking at it, and we're like, "Oh God, this is fucked up. Oh
Yeah.
no, this is so sad." But like, I think again, that's what's done so well. That's such a good point. Is that the people here are really desensitized to it because it's so
Yeah.
normal.
It's just
So
everyday
even
life.
he can't really process it, I guess, in the same way that we would process such a
Yeah,
tragedy,
like
you know?
it's normal to be broken up about it, to cry, to like
Yeah.
be in a moment of weakness. But for him, it's just mundane, and because of that, he can't process his mother's death. He's just angry,
Yeah.
and that's all he really can be at this point. Because
Yeah.
what the fuck do? You get angry, and
Yeah.
well, in this world, there is very little bonds of sentiment
Hmm.
compared to what should be. That you should have bonds of sentiment with your family, your friends, your neighborhood, your neighbors,
Yeah.
but you just don't because you're all like atomized individuals, just
Hmm.
going from the one high to the next.
Yes.
And whether it's like drugs or personal achievement in the case of the corpos, and my god, it just the kid only had his mother, and
Yeah.
only when she is gone does he realize that. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the apartment. He doesn't give a shit about any of his schoolmates. He doesn't care
Yeah.
about anyone on the street or his fucking ripper or anyone.
Hmm.
He only had his mother, and now that she's gone, he doesn't give a shit about his own life. Like, he has now some cyberware he got from his mother, who presumably was trying to sell it after she lifted it off some guy who got killed.
Yeah.
And he knows it's probably got some fucking virus. It's military grade hardware. You're not meant to have that on you.
Yeah.
It's more than likely gonna fuck him up, but he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He just wants that fucking piece of shit bastard who was twisting the knife in his back to just die.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuck him. What's he gonna do? Kill him? He's already a dead man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's such a good point again. Like it just kind of shows like they kind of like have no kind of purpose
Yeah.
at some point. Like you said, like humanity is dead. Like their overall anything to kind of
The
hold them
soul
down.
of humanity is dead.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, they have nothing grounding them at all.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've seen fan art of the show, which is a good sign. It's a very good sign, which means that there are some good characters later on. But you do get it's why your friends in this world are like your family. You cherish them close.
Yeah.
If you get close to them, if you get close to somebody and you open up, like I don't know how to describe it because I was in a very nihilistic phase in my life, which is why I can relate very much to the cyberpunk world because it is very nihilist. Like the worth of a human life is very little, and it doesn't really matter what happens to you because the world is just gonna move on, and with or without you.
Yeah.
And paradoxically, I think if you do get friends, if you do get companions, people you trust, people you can open up to, you sort of value them far more than you would normally would. Like,
Yeah.
it would be more intense, I guess is the word, because you wouldn't have a frame of reference for the feeling. Like, camaraderie, family.
Yeah.
What do these words mean? You wouldn't exactly have that.
You know, like what you was sorry, no, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, like in the game, the closest people you have in your life as V are Jackie, who, depending on what life path you pick, although in every life path you pick, he sort of helps you out and helps you get integrated into the city, no matter what happens. But there's Jackie, there's your Ripper Doc, and there was potential like you being familiar with other Ripper Docs, but that was never explored. It was one of the many things that I'm assuming was just cut. I wanted better writing in that game. I really did. I liked Keanu Reeves in there, but they really needed better writing. But yeah, the closest thing you have for family is Jackie, your Ripper Dog, and his front of house assistant, his receptionist, essentially, the tarot card lady. That and maybe Jackie's mother. Now, that's the closest thing you have for family.
Yeah.
And that's very small.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like a passing acquaintance that you could literally, if you just... Oh god, that's the thing. Not even that, because there was Pam and there was Judy. Those the two love interests. And the only people that sort of have family are the nomads, which, again, they're much more tight-knit than the people in the city. But they just live outside the city. They're not really welcome inside it, which is probably for the best, because if they were, they would just get eaten alive by the place. But yeah, that's the... And also, like, the aspect of family is very important for the nomads, and what separates them from the other two castes in Cyberpunk. But yeah, sorry, I'm just rambling. If you had something to say.
No, I forgot.
I'm sorry, Kiri.
It's fine. No, it's fine. But overall, this has been a good time.
Yes. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'll probably be continuing this.
Yes.
Maybe in every other day, or it depends how bad the other show gets.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You know how you were saying the nihilism and stuff?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like maybe over the years, it's gotten worse for people. I don't know if you kind of feel that.
I feel it.
In our society, which is quite scary for me. Like, it kind of just reminded me, like, I remember a couple months back, I was waiting for the train as usual, mundane thing, to go work, and then suddenly the announcement was like, oh, sorry, this train's gonna be late because someone jumped in front of the train and died.
Yeah.
And, like, for everyone else was, well... that's inconvenient. I'm still trying to get to work. And I was just like mourning this person I didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
But it's scary. I'm not saying like everyone else needed to fucking cry. Like it's
but
someone
at least,
he's
shocked somebody died.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah. Like I was really shocked, and I'm still really shocked and very sad, and I give condolences to this stranger's family and friends because that is, if you don't hold on to that, what are you?
You are, at that point, just a drone. You have given up your humanity and have just become a drone that goes to work and then comes back from work. It's honestly why I do love this setting. Just because it helps with going through that philosophy. Getting to the end point of it and coming to your conclusions about it, and like it's like a ride you have to go through to understand it, and then at the end you can get off because you know where this ends. Like the tracks end at a certain point, and that point is a cliff. I
mean, I think that's why I was quite like, one thing I was at least like really thankful for is that there was a lot more sense of like empathy, community, and like just general mourning and humanity with like the Queen's funeral.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, thank God, okay, we're okay.
Yeah, that was nice.
Some people.
It's like, thank God. Like, I don't know what would have happened. Like maybe I would have just fell back into the nihilism trance. Like, okay, life doesn't matter. People are worthless. Fuck all this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think that's why I have the friends that I do, because we all genuinely care about each other and
have our humanity.
Oh yeah, and we still have our humanity, 100%. But it's just, it's scary to think that there's people that are,
like this world. It's a good look into the darker side of the human condition. Like, what happens if you just don't care about anyone but yourself?
Yeah.
And in some cases, not even that, because of the way people get borged up, and oh god, the fucking sex industry in this world. Lord have mercy. It is fucked in the head. Like, okay, so Kiwi, imagine you for some reason, or a friend of yours, let's say a friend of yours wants to go into the sex industry. And they want to do it. Like, they can go to this brothel. It'll be nice and safe. Well, as safe as it can be. They still might get killed if they get unlucky. But you know, they could just have this like virtual intelligence take over their body and their brain, so that they their personality changes to whatever the client wants. Like, if they want a submissive or domineering woman, that your friend will just become that for the client. And at the end of it, your friend won't remember a damn thing.
Oh no, that is a violation. Fuck that.
Oh yeah.
That is fucked.
In the game, we go through one of these places, and it's primarily to talk to to talk to one of the virtual intelligences, because now this was fucking freaking me. It was freaking me out. Like, the concept.
The whole concept is very freaky.
Oh no, not that. That was just the first part. There's a second part. So.
Okay.
The VI they have.
Yeah.
It's you don't actually choose what your woman is gonna do to you, or your man, depending on whatever it is you want. But the VI scans your brain, your subconscious, and you sign a contract saying it can do this. And it finds what you really want. And it uploads that to your hooker.
Oh god.
And yeah, they don't remember a thing. And literally, like, the hooker could be in their own little. They could just have the memory completely wiped, so for them no time passes. They just boom, client's done, they're leaving. Cool.
Yeah.
Or they could just be in like a waiting room or something, in their own mind, in their own little brain dance, so they don't have to see anything. But things are still happening to their bodies.
Yeah, which is, again, very violating thought. That is like.
But hey, Kiwi, they signed a contract. They said it was fine.
Yeah, but like, that is a violation.
Yeah. And dear God above, like, the quest was done really well, because again, if you're like me and you think about things for more than 5 seconds, you know how fucked this place is. Like, a whorehouse is bad enough. Like, you got girls which need money. Maybe they're addicted to drugs, so they got to get their fix. Like, if you've ever read up on whorehouses, they are a depressing sight.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
The German ones are kind of funny in how bad they are. Like, I remember, oh god, this was this. So, Kiwi, you know disability allowances that you get for not being able to work. Well,
yes.
Sex work is real work in Germany. And if you're not willing to work in a state-sanctioned brothel, well, you're kind of rejecting a job offer for you, so you can't really get a job seeker's allowance.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're trolling me.
I wish I was, but it's an actual story.
Wait,
like, a woman could not get her benefits in Germany because she refused to work in a state-sanctioned brothel on the grounds that she was rejecting work that was offered.
Wait, hold on. Okay, listen. I need to even process the fact that you're saying there's a state sanction.
Oh yeah. If sex work is real work, then the state would like a cut of that pie. So state-sanctioned brothels in Germany.
Louise, this is the first thing. The first.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to process that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we'll put a pin in that, and I'll get back to the mission, because dear God.
Yes,
so,
let's go back to the mission.
The mission was actually rather wholesome, because the AI scans your brain, and it
finds what you really want.
Yeah, and it can tell that you are, like, at that point in the game, shaken up, because your best friend is dead, you got a ghost that's slowly consuming you, and it asks you what you really want. And the options are really nice, and the one I picked was, like, to make a mark so that people remember me when I'm gone. In this world that moves on without giving a damn about you, I want people to remember me.
Yeah.
And it was honestly such a wholesome scene, and it was made even more wholesome by sheer contrast that I was talking to a whore that was currently being possessed by a virtual intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, the contrast there was really well done. Like, they did a good job with that quest. Very good job.
Well.
Dear fucking god, I hated that place. Also, yeah, it was actually run by one of the gangs. I forgot the name, but it was the Asian gang.
Oh, okay. My god.
But yeah, the cyberpunk world, it can be a great setting to explore, A, the depravity of humanity, but also its good side as well. Like, the best of it. How we can care for each other and our friends and family.
For sure.
Yeah, because my playthrough I did of 77 was I started as a corpo because I wanted to have that experience of, okay, I am now the boot on everyone's neck. Like, I am the law, motherfucker. Like Louis the 14th, I am the state.
Yes.
And for me to like see where I go from there, maybe I go Street Kid, maybe I go back to Corpo or Nomad. I went with Nomad because that was the more like wholesome path. Because I'll be honest with Judy, because I was playing a dude and Judy's a lesbian, you can't really romance her. Yeah,
okay.
so I went with Pan Am, the Nomad. It was nice. It was wholesome. I still have my complaints about the ending, where no matter what, you die, but that's a complaint about the game, not the show. The show right now is doing a really good job in showing all of that, like the worst of humanity and like the best of it trying to shine through. Like this kid's love for his mother. It's really nice.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Oh man.
But yes, those are my thoughts on it. If you have anything to add.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
That's me. I'm still trying to process what you said about Germany. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Where we'll see if it's the Rings of Power.
Bye-bye.
We'll see.